This cool wall has caused an absolute furore. We have had 20,000 emails about it. 20,000, and all day long, all the people here have been going, oh, what did you put that there for? And I've got a microphone here so we can hit people with it. You are Trini and I am Susanna.
Take some imagining that, will that?
Why are you laughing? I'm exactly like Susanna Constantine. People are always mistaking me for her in the streets.
Is it possible to turn anything, I mean anything at all, into a driver's car? Well, to investigate this, we found a bloke who owns a larder, and we nicked it.
When I come home at night in this, my Labradors stick their paws in their ears and whimper.
This is Paul Sherwood's 1.5e larder. 6 years old and worth about 200 quid.
The Aston Martin I would put down into the uncool on the basis of build quality, and it's not value for money, it's too much Ford.
You are such an idiot. This is the coolest car.
To assess the scale of the task ahead on ride and handling, Lotus let loose their top man, Gavin Kershaw.
Seven, 8 years now since I've driven a Porsche.
Didn't she ever say, why don't you give up the booze and the drugs? Just probably that was causing the accident more than the car.
Now, before we do anything else, have a listen to this. First of all, what do you think that is?
I took the exhaust off.
Take your blindfold off and have a look. Let's do this. You feeling all right? Here we go.
Struth! Blimey!
What do you think?
Well, this is the new one. I say new, it's not like new, it's a bit of a facelift, but it does look prettier. But the really important thing is, it's still
Yes, I was going to say prettier is relative.
Prettier.
That's like, if you got Anne Widdecombe and hit her on the forehead with a light tap from a hammer...
She'd look prettier.
That's what I'm saying.
It's prettier.
Yeah.
It's prettier.
Stop thinking about this car. Then there's Gav, who we've seen before, and you've met Gav, because he drove your hunk of garbage.
Virtually killed it.
So I think it's time to take you out and scare you out of your wits. Good luck.
Back in the old days, 200 brake horsepower in a Cosy, it was a really quick car. 0 to 60 on this 7 seconds.
Which is quick, but it's
Yeah, but
not
Irish
like...
Focus.
It's a Vauxhall, you blithering idiots. That's it. All
right, you're right.
The V. Nobody's going to buy one in the end. Hyundai, Mitsubishi, Toyota, Nissan, Jaguar. Any car can be converted into a decent driver's car, given, you know, team of 10 men and a fortnight and £100,000, which is what this would have cost if you'd have gone to Lotus and asked for it yourselves. Is there anyone here who has a first tiny grasp of engineering?
I mean, is it an automatic
Have
or
you?
manually?
You have. Look, I'm going to give you this. By the end of we've finished the news, I want to understand that gearbox. Work it out as your homework. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Michael Gambon. After a hard day at work, not that I've ever had a hard day at work, but if I were to ever have a hard day at work...
I was taking another actor who was frightened of flying. I convinced him to get in my plane.
Volkswagen Golf. Diesel. Identical car except for the engine. Where does it go? Uncool, because it marks you out as a cheapskate.
He was going to go in a jumbo jet, and I said, well, my one's similar. You know, it's...
Now, here's the Think with the Stig at the wheel. Listen to the throbbing silence of that electric motor. Glorious. For comparison, we've lined it up against something equally sprightly. Jason.
Heading north, before London City Airport opened, I feigned a heart attack.
How sad have you got to be that you need your car to wish you happy birthday? I prefer to have friends.
We were 2,000 feet going towards Ipswich, and I went...
Have you seen the film Fast and Furious?
Yes, it is the worst film ever made by a human being. What do you mean, no? OK, my case rests. Fast and Furious was made for people in hats like that.
Yeah.
I then came round and apologised, and I can't tell you what he said.
Are you still friends?
I don't see him anymore.
Do you crash a lot?
No, I don't actually, no. Only people... No, I don't.
Because there's a report in the newspapers the other day which said that women are more prone to crash into stationary objects. Saabs, I know they've gone all conventional, I know it runs on a Vauxhall Vectra platform, and yet somehow telling people you've got a Saab, quite cool. So it goes there and... Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think I've explained. This isn't a debate. I tell you where things go. This week, we are searching for Britain's fastest white van driver. We asked for applicants a few weeks ago on the show, and this is how many we got on emails. Now, we weeded out the psychotics, and we were left with 5. You're off the... You will...
I'm Don from Kent.
Don from Kent, and you drive a...
Ford Escort.
Colour?
White.
You turn up in something like that, Ferrari 360, she's going to think you're a Burke. You turn up in that, she's going to leave her husband. That's how cool works. You haven't shaved. She's poor. What's your mother going to say? Anyway, what do you drive?
My pride and joy.
Nissan Vanette?
Yes.
OK, and you are a...
Heating engineer.
A plumber. You are...
John Wattrip.
You listen to what?
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones? Everyone down here is in a band. And that makes pulling over and asking for directions a rare treat. Excuse me. Could you tell me the way to Steve Winwood's house, please?
Steve Winwood, yes. Up here, till you get to Van Morrison's.
Yeah.
Left, up to Sting's Trout Lake.
Yeah.
Round that, and at the T-junction by Peter Gabriel's, you make a left.
OK, brilliant. Thanks very much. What band are you in?
Pink Floyd.
You are?
Dale Miller.
Dale Miller. You work for?
NTL.
NTL, who dig up the roads, make our lives a misery. OK, and what do you drive?
Peugeot Expert.
Peugeot Expert. A stupid name. And you are?
Steve Hogan from Amersham.
From Amersham, and you work for?
Iceland.
Lovely country. What do you listen to?
The Bee Gees.
Bee Gees. You just hammered children into a car until you couldn't close the doors anymore. Some of them got stuck in the ashtray, some of them suffocated. In an accident, some of them died. We used to put the fat ones at the front to act as a sort of primitive airbag. In the 1940s and the 1950s, a Maserati was as exotic and as unattainable as a banana. You know where we nail this programme together? It's in the middle of London, OK? There's a multi-storey car park next door, 2 hours, £9 in there. So if you're 2 hours and 5 minutes, 18 quid. Well, I went into Oxford last weekend, parked on double yellow lines right outside where I wanted to be, OK? Took the children out for lunch, went to see James Bond, got back 5 hours later, 20 quid parking ticket. That's pretty reasonable. That's £12.
3, 2, 1, go!
It's just good. There's nothing you can say about it apart from look at it. It's a good car.
You've turned up with 86 earrings and you're telling us that's a brilliant car. My case rests. Oh, he's looking angry. I like earrings. You know, I drive an SL, OK? I'm gay, as it turns out. I have the results here and in 5th place. I was rooting for you and you got lost. You were useless.
You invented valet park, didn't you?
I did, valet parking. I was, used to live in Fulham, right next to the car pound in London, so you could drive up to the West End, have a few drinks, leave the car, wobble home best way you could, wake up in the morning, they towed it home for you. It was pricey, but kind of worth it. You took 4 minutes 55. What do you mean? Le Mans, where's that? Le Mans. Jason, bring in the trophy because the winner is Dale from NTL. 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Paul, better look grateful.
Very grateful.
No, look it. More grateful than that to the Lotus people. In fact, get on your knees.
Thank you.
Get on your knees. Stomach, actually. Get on your stomach, on the floor.